So whenever I read a story about a cabin in the woods, especially one in the Appalachian Mountains, I just know it's going to be a scary story. And in tonight's story, that's where it happened. So grab your favorite tea and settle in, and let me tell you another scary story, because of course, this is Tea After Midnight. This story comes from Halie. Hi there, my name is Halie, and I would like to start this story off by saying that I am a firm believer in Jesus Christ and that He is my Savior. Having said that, this story is 100% true, hand on the Bible. A couple of years ago, my girlfriend, now wife Ashley, and I stupidly bought a timeshare. We were young and dumb with a little bit of expendable money and thought, why not? Our timeshare was located in Chicago, but we were tired of visiting there. So we looked and saw that there were some cabins in Tennessee. The pictures of the cabin were beautiful, and the thing that sold me was it's very modern looking and fancier than our house. We live in Michigan, and when we drove down, it was about a 10-hour drive. We were exhausted and arrived at the cabin around dinner time. It was essentially a neighborhood that circled all the way around and up a mountain with a bunch of other cabins. When we pulled in, we sat there just excited to finally be there, not excited to lug all of our stuff in. We both grabbed a couple of bags and made our way inside. I am not clairvoyant or psychic, but as soon as that front door opened and I took one step inside, it felt heavy. It felt very heavy and strange, and I had this overwhelming feeling of dread. I didn't mention this to Ashley, as she had a huge smile on her face and didn't seem to feel what I did. I tried to shrug it off and kept it to myself, and succeeded for a little while. We were scheduled to be there a total of a week, so I just knew this was going to be the longest week of my life. The first night was spooky. Nothing in particular happened, but I did feel eyes on me, and just a very heavy presence. Every time I woke up in the night, there was never an adjustment period of dreaming to reality. It hit me the second I opened my eyes that something was off. The next day, I got ready as fast as I could so we could leave and explore Tennessee. I tried my damnedest to stay out as late as we possibly could without alerting Ashley that something was wrong. After all, nothing had happened, so I couldn't really explain it. The bedroom was located upstairs in the loft area, so that's where we spent most of our time if we were there. The bathroom and kitchen were downstairs. Anytime I needed to go into another room by myself, the feeling got more intense every single time I did. Like, not only were there eyes on me, but they were also only about a foot behind me. Something deep in my gut was telling me not to look into a mirror or anything reflective, so I didn't. And I'm glad I didn't, because I know deep in my heart that I would have seen something that I would never forget. To this day, I don't look in the mirror for too long. There was also this coat closet that was located right in front of the main door, so as soon as you opened the front door, that was the first thing you saw. I just knew that something was not right about it. It's not something that I can explain to have you fully understand, but I felt that there was something in it. So every time I needed to go by it, I ran. I did everything I could not to look at it or give it really any time of day. At this point, I was following Ashley around the cabin and wouldn't go into a room by myself. Ashley knew something was up with me, and I decided to tell her, but not everything. Just that I felt uncomfortable. She said that she was feeling a little strange too, but never really give it any thought. There was this one instance when I went into the restroom downstairs, and obviously kept the door open. I kept looking straight at the wall in front of me because I didn't know how, but I knew there was something above me. I could literally pinpoint exactly where this thing was. It was above me in the corner, watching me. I did my business and couldn't help but run out of there and get back to Ashley. Eventually, the closet was on my mind constantly, so I decided that if I just opened it and saw that nothing was there, it would ease my anxiety and maybe allow me to enjoy the rest of the trip. I prayed for courage and protection and decided to, very stupidly I know, just go open it. I walked downstairs and stared at it for what felt like hours. I finally gained the courage to open it and saw nothing but a couple of hangers and a vacuum, but also felt like I was intruding. Like now I had cornered those eyes that were following me. I couldn't see anything or anyone, but I felt it. I felt exactly where they were standing and felt like I had locked eyes with them. I felt like by opening the door, I opened something more. Like I gave permission for something without saying anything. I closed the door and prayed again. Later that night, Ashley decided to go to bed, and I just felt the ultimate dread. I didn't want to. I didn't want to turn off the lights or get under the covers, and I didn't want to lay down. I really didn't want it to be night. But I did, though. I turned on Family Guy and just tried to focus on that. Somehow, even with eyes on me, I fell asleep. I had a dream that I will remember for the rest of my life, and if you're interested in that, let me know, and I can share it with you. That dream belongs in hell, and it can stay there. Family Guy had been turned off, and I was in complete darkness and silence. I woke up not being able to move. It was not sleep paralysis, it was just plain shock and fear. And those eyes never left me. I know Ashley would never turn it off because Family Guy is like a comfort blanket for me. For the rest of the night, I laid there, stiff and quiet, until eventually the sun came up. I mentioned none of this to Ashley, only that I had a rough night and a bad dream. We left for the day, and when we came back, we decided we were going to use the jacuzzi that was upstairs near our bed. We hadn't used it yet, and our trip was soon coming to an end. There was a hot tub outside on the porch, but it is important to note that the porch was literally on the edge of a cliff. Not a huge cliff, but still. And the entire porch was wrapped in this chicken wire fencing material, presumably so people didn't fall. So there was absolutely no way onto the back porch without walking through the front door to get to the back door. We got into the jacuzzi that was inside, and finally, I couldn't take it anymore and decided to tell her everything. From the eyes to the closet. That's when she looked at me with the most serious look and said, "Maybe we shouldn't talk about this here." And before I could react or say anything, we heard the doorknob on the back door that leads to the fenced-in porch jiggle. We looked at each other in complete silence, eyes wide, but did not dare to move. The jiggling got louder and louder and louder until finally it stopped. Only a few seconds later, there was a loud bang on the back door, like someone or something wanted in now. Our fight or flight kicked in simultaneously, and we were out of that jacuzzi and dressed only a few moments later. We looked at each other and said, "F this," and we packed our stuff, not caring what we left behind. At midnight, we packed all of our stuff into our car and headed back home to Michigan. In the car, we finally unloaded what we endured that week, and Ashley revealed that she was also having nightmares, but didn't want to frighten me. She didn't quite feel everything I did, but agreed that something was off. 9 to 10 hours later, we returned home and didn't even bother to bring in the bags. We went straight to our bedroom and went to sleep. As I was about to fall asleep, I heard footsteps pacing around the perimeter of our bed, just back and forth. My head was under the covers and I didn't dare look, so I stayed there until I fell asleep. When we both woke up later that day, I asked her if she heard the footsteps too, and her face went white as a ghost, and she said, "I was hoping I had dreamt that." Ever since then, we have had some very strange occurrences in our house, and I'd love to share them with you if you're interested. So I did reach out to Halie, and they ended up sending me the rest of their story. I do want to say that the dream that they had inside the cabin is a little bit too graphic for TikTok, so I won't be able to share that here, but I am going to share with you what they've been experiencing since they got home from that cabin. Just last night, my dresser tipped over in the middle of the night. Not the first time that this has happened. Lights go on and off, and things go missing. We hear walking on whatever floor we are not on. Things also crash on the floor in rooms we are not in, like big booms of things falling, and when we go check, nothing is out of place. One night, we fell asleep to Family Guy on Hulu, but we woke up to a scary clown movie on Netflix. But it was frozen to a still image of a clown. At the time, we had just moved our bedroom upstairs, so we only had a laptop on a nightstand for the TV. There's no way we could have rolled onto the remote and changed the platform and put on a movie. Another night we slept up there, there is a room right on the other side of where we were sleeping with a recliner chair in it. It sounded like someone was rocking in it. It kept hitting the wall. When we went in, not only was it empty, but it wasn't even close enough to hit the wall if someone were rocking in it. All of our animals will randomly stare in a random corner of our house for way too long. Ashley is heard whispering in her ear at night as she's about to go to sleep. A couple of weeks ago, we heard our basement door handle rattle, and when we walked towards it, we heard running down the steps. When you first go into any room, it feels like you are being watched. Halie, I don't want to scare you, but I really feel like you guys brought something home from that cabin in Tennessee. Because if before you went to the cabin, you guys hadn't had any experiences like that, but now that you're back, You're having experiences in your home like you did when you were in the cabin. That is absolutely terrifying, and I hate that you guys are going through that. But as you said in the beginning, you are a believer in Jesus Christ. I am as well, and I truly believe in the power of prayer. So I would recommend that you guys pray over yourselves, pray over your home, pray over your space, because it just feels like something has followed you guys home, and that is absolutely terrifying. But I myself will be praying as well, because I couldn't imagine going through this, and I'm so sorry y'all have been going through it. But I didn't even get to read to you guys the dream that they had. But just take my word for it. It is absolutely sick. It is a very scary and intense dream. And there's things in it that I can't say here on TikTok. So just take my word for it. It is very messed up and very scary. And it had me in chills and tears by the end of reading it. But Halie, thank you so much for sending over your story. I'm so sorry that you and your wife have been going through that. And if you have any updates in the future, please let me know, because I'm sure myself and everybody else would love to know how you guys are doing. But that does conclude this episode of Tea After Midnight. If you have any personal scary stories you want to share, I would love to read them. You can email me at the email on the screen or the email in the caption of this video. But as always, you guys, thank you so much for being here. I love you. I hope you have the best night, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.